Alright, so today we're going to be adding a outlet for my outside TV mount. I used to run an extension cord, but I don't want to do that no more. I want it nice and clean. So easy way to do this from the outside. I know the pipe is going to be showing, and once you paint it, it's not a big deal. So first you want to start off by turning off the main circuit, which I already did. Easy way to identify it, since my panel's not labeled how I want it to, it's hard to even read and understand, because that's how I bought the house. I gotta relabel everything. So all my breakers in the panel are, or most of them are, GFCI breakers. So I just put a GFCI tester, put it in, trip it, and that kills the main breaker. So let's go double check. All right, so like I was saying, see how everything's not labeled properly? It's labeled as lining, which I get it. They probably spliced into that circuit. So yeah, just want to confirm it's off. You see this one's on the, not fully to the right. So just make sure it's fully off. And I mean, you could put a lock on it, you know. It's really up to you. Lock your panel if you want. All right, so we got the outlet housing off. And this is another way to double check. This is a sniffer. You could use a multimeter if you have one. I'm just using more cheaper, affordable tools. I have a meter, which is showing you what else you could use. If it was hot, it would be constantly red, flashing and beeping. And what we're gonna do too is replace this housing for a square one, because the extension ring is square. So we want to make it I want to try to make it look as clean as possible. It was gonna look a little shitty with the round one, as you can see, doesn't really match. So we're gonna need I need to buy another one of these ones for the outlet behind the TV. So yeah, let's add that in and go on. So we got the extension ring added. You gotta take this boxes come with a foam padding that basically seals the box to the wall. But even after that, I always just put a small seal around the caulking seal around the whole box, just because, like for example, I got stucco walls, so I'm not 100% confident that that little foam piece sealing every little gap, and I need a sealant anyways to put it on this cover. So for this boxes to become fully waterproof, they tell you to put a sealant around the threads and put them in. So then that way, you know, they do their job. So you put that extension ring on. I'm only gonna be using this fitting on this side to come out and up. Okay, so we got our liquid tight fitting on, and we need a 90 because I'm routing this along the edge and up. So this calls for, from the wall to the edge of the fittings, about 11.5. And we're gonna do a little kick away from the wall. I'll show you why. So I got my 11.5 marked already. Of course, we're gonna be using a pipe bender. I know those are a little pricey, but if you wanna learn or are in the process, it's a way to invest in your learning. So 11.5 is marked, and you see how it says for a 1/2 inch EMT, you wanna be 5 inches. So basically what that means, you wanna subtract 5 inches from here down, and you're gonna put your line on the 5 inch subtraction mark. So go ahead and do that. So we're gonna mark 5 inches. So 11.5 minus 5 would be 6.5, right? So somewhere around there. See if my math is right, right? So want to do a nice mark, be able to see the mark. So I just always double check. Measure twice, cut once, right? Measure twice, cut once. So I'm gonna write a 6.5. So we're gonna go ahead and put that arrow right there for the 6, where the 6.5 mark was at. And I'll try to do a video bending the pipe. So I went to go ahead and did a little offset at the end, because the fitting is away from the wall. It's not gonna be flush. So I did a little mark on the edge, and basically I want to line it up looking this way, making sure it's straight to it. And I got my 6.5 mark on the arrow. So the way you want to do this is firmly put your foot, the back end of the bender. You want to pull back. You want to pull back straight up. Also, using some force on your arm and leg. You don't want it to raise from the floor, because then you're gonna lock dog leg. I should explain what that means later on. So you want to keep pushing back, put pressure down. Gotta switch legs right here, skinny legs, chicken legs. So you keep pushing back. So there's marks on the bender that, as you learn how to use them. But right now I need a little more. Also, you could put a torpedo level on the side of here and check that. So like I was saying, you want to be on a flat surface. You see right now I put the level on the edge. There's my 90 right there, straight up. So I need to give it a little more kick back for that to be a straight 90. So same thing, put my leg down, just jig it back a little bit, just a little bit. See how that is? Okay, bubble's almost there, a little more. Okay, so I went a little over, which is fine. You could always fix that. All right, so you could, it gets to a point that you could, EMT's not that hard to mess with. So there it is. I mean, there's some deflection if you mess with it, But, so that's the 90 right there that we want. So I gotta cut this 90, so we got the 90 already for there. So I gotta cut that pipe back. So I was planning on doing a back-to-back 90, but my fitting, pipe-to-pipe fitting is gonna end somewhere there, and I'm not gonna have space to get the fitting on or get channel locks and tighten it up. So what I'm gonna do is just cut it short to 6 feet, do the fitting right there. That pipe's gonna be a full length, no more fittings up there, and then the outlet's gonna be somewhere there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get some straps back there, but I'm for sure gonna add some on this side and one over there. Maybe I could make the 90 so it sits right over that trim right there. So yeah, so for you to cut it, so you want to put your 90 on a flat, on a straight wall. You could also use the bender, line it up right there. So you put it back there, and basically all you gotta do is go to the wall now, right? Since you got the 90, it's not gonna let you. So just go all the way down to the wall, and whatever you wanna cut, that's what you mark. So I already got my pipe cut, and of course I use a bandsaw. You could also use a grinder, wherever you use to cut. Make sure you know how to use it, and be careful. So every time you cut, you wanna clean the inside of the pipe. In this case, I got a pipe deburring tool, which it cleans the sharp edges on the inside. You could also use the channel locks, stick it in there, and just go around. Just go around. It's hard for me to record and do it, but basically what you want to do is just clean it off, so when you put your finger in there, there's no sharp edges. All right, so we got the pipe in. Remember that little offset I was telling you about? So we want the pipe to be hugging the wall, right? Right, so then that little offset, what it does, you have the fitting and the box are away from the wall, and the fitting also pushes it away from the wall. So that little offset just keeps everything else hugged to the wall, except the part that you don't want to be touching the wall. So they're a little more critical. So I had to do this offset before I did the 90. If you do the 90, it's kind of impossible to do this after. So that's when you get confused, because then you're like, wait, do I want to go this way? Do I want to go down and up? Because sometimes you might end up with the 90 down or the offset the other way. So it's a little more complicated. So we're going to add our second pipe now. Now that the first one's in. I want to be tucked in on top of this shrimp piece. So honestly, I'm just going to eyeball this to that fitting, which is about a foot or
let's call it 13 inches because we could always cut down. Like I said, I want to be perfect on this string piece. So we need a 13-inch 90. So we got a 13-inch mark already. So -5, that makes 8. You could just do straight to 5. Sorry, my hands are dirty. You could straight go to 8 inches. If you're great at math, I'm not the best. So what I always do is just mark what I measured, -5, and I always double check. So now we're gonna, same thing, do another 90 real quick. Okay, so here goes the second 90. Got my level on the edge, my bender on the arrow, -5 inches. That's for 1/2 inch EMT. So same thing, pressure down on your foot, so it doesn't lift, and pull back and push down. Just like that, keep going, keep going. Step on the tape there. Let me switch hands so I can record. So keep going, you wanna keep going. What's that right there? That's pretty good. So that's it, that's what we want. All right, so we got the pipe in, sitting on top of the trim piece right here. I got lucky with that 13-inch measurement. I couldn't believe it when I put it in. Sucks that I couldn't record it, I don't have a tripod. So we're gonna go ahead and take it off again and do a 90 because it overlaps. So I'm just gonna do a back-to-back 90. Well, not really a back-to-back, it's just I'm gonna go to the very edge of the pipe, and whatever that gets me, it's a 5-inch 90. So and after that, we're gonna go ahead and add straps on the pipe so it holds it in place. This is the other end of the pipe, the same pipe that goes to that fitting down there. We just did a 90 to the very end of it, and I want my outlet around right here because my HDMI ports are right here, and the streaming box, the little streaming device that I use, doesn't have a long power cord. So I want it, I'm probably gonna end up putting it like right here. So I might just go straight down to a 90, or I could get fancy and do an offset, kind of like a S-shape offset. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I want the box around this area already. So I ended up getting a little fancy with the offset because I needed it more closer to the HDMI ports. I didn't video that, but depends how the video does. Might do a full pipe bending video. Mounted the box, sealed the extra plugs. I used this anchor setups to go in the stucco. As long as your hole is smaller, they will grab. And I mean, this thing is solid. Just gotta add clamps on the EMT, run the wire, and splice the connections. So I went and added a strap. So you want to add a strap within 3 feet of your J box, and intervals of 10 feet. I'm just gonna add another one within the same tube right before the coupler, and then add one on that side. I can't really add any up there, but it's resting on the trim piece. I know that's not okay, but I can't squeeze my hands in there. I also built this, so I should have probably done this before this. But it is what it is now. Doing it the hard way. So the wire is in. I ended up using my wife's help to put this through. I didn't have a fish tape, so I ended up running a ground that I had as a fish tape. Unfortunately, I didn't have a white THWN, so I ended up using this NMB 14 gauge. I know it's for indoors only. It's not even supposed to be in EMT. I'm not code compliant. Don't call the code guy on me. It's a small run just for ATV, nothing crazy. And I'm gonna end up putting a little hole on one of these caps on the bottom just for any possible moisture buildup. so it could escape.
All right, so you really want to cut this wire. Some guys use scissors. The first thing I found was a knife on me. So what you want to do is just kind of score it with a knife. You don't need strippers on this. You need strippers on the single ones, but just to get the jacket off, you should, once you score it, you should be able to just twist it a little bit and pull down on it. That's it. This one's protecting the ground. You can just rip that one off too. So yeah, you just kind of want to score it a little bit on each side. Just twist it a little bit, pull down. And then obviously you need wire strippers for this ones. Alrighty, so this is the old circuit, right? So what you want to strip is basically like a 1/2 inch, a little more, to be able to make a pigtail like that. That's gonna wrap around your receptacle. And you gotta make sure you read out your receptacle too. You see how this says hot, white, hot meaning black. They even, this one even has the black screws for you, so you can't mess this up. Sometimes it's just copper color like this, and the white has like silvers, you know. And all the receptacles now, the new ones, are basically like this, so make sure you read it. For your strippers, they have writing on it. So this is 14 gauge wire, so just follow that. And the way you want to strip this is go to your stripper size hole, wrap around a little bit and push out. Right, same with this, with the black one, wrap around a little bit and push out. And then you want to use the tip of it, just kind of make a pigtail, grab it by the edge and turn in. Same with the white, grab it and turn it in. And that's what's gonna wrap around our screw head. So then we're just gonna splice what the original circuit was. So like I said, black is black. You can't mess that up. If you do, then I'm sorry. See how it just hugs it? I'm gonna put the other one on top so they both fit. Oh, I need a bigger screwdriver. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. So you want to just be nice and tight. Okay, that's tight. Same with the white one. With the pigtail, screw it in. And it's gonna be the exact same thing for this one, which this is our new circuit that we added. This is the old circuit I was on that we're stealing light from. Make sure you're tight. Obviously the ground goes there, but I'm gonna wait for this one. Alrighty, so I got the wires landed. Now I'm putting this box together. So this box comes with different attachments. So you could do a light switch, a GFCI. In this case, I put the outer rings on. I just wanted two receptacle eyelets. So to put this on is basically easy enough. Alrighty, so we got the final product. So like I said before, this was an existing outlet. So all we did was add an extension ring to put a pipe on the side of it, seal the extra plugs and around the extension ring. Pipe goes up around, that will be painted later on. Goes up around the trim piece, and then ends over here for the TV. Covers there. It's kind of tight, but it works. Push the TV away, it opens and closes. Plug whatever you want in, and then like I said, some people might not like the exposed pipe. Trust me, once you paint it, you can't even tell.